Welcome guys, this time we are going to talk about the Blighted Maps. It is no new to anyone that the blind mechanic is pretty good for good and consistent currency. So I decided to buy some maps and see how it is in the current expansion. And today we are going to analyze the results, okay? First, let's start saying that the last league, the Meteor towers were adjusted and adjusted slash nerfed, and it is now not so OP as it was before, but they still does its function. This anointment causes the meteor from the tower to leave a burning ground after the impact, and the thing was that the burning ground itself was dealing full damage to farm minion types. And as you know, the Blighted Towers does much less damage to the same type, and it seems like the Burning Ground was not being considered as part of the tower itself because it came from an anointment, so it was dealing full damage to even fire mobs, and that was the main reason that it was so strong. You just have to build the mirror towers and they will take care of all mobs in the map. You just have to then build some defensive towers and the maps were done quite easily. So what does this mean for us? Well, now we are going to have to build the lighting towers to help dealing with those mobs, the fire type mobs, especially if your build isn't as strong yet. So we are going to just take this into consideration when we are doing the maps. The anointments that I'm using are the same as always. Your shield towers can freeze and Meteor towers drop these burning grounds that we mentioned. And yeah, maybe now there is a better combination. Could be, I don't know. But I tested these and did all of these maps that I said with this combination and it does its job. I have no problem at all. About the map preparation, since the map quantity affects the reward blight chest that we get at the end of the encounter, we are going to chisel our maps, as you can see here, and we are also going to arc our maps. You have to take care about the mods that you have here. Of course, try to avoid all of those mods that breaks your build, and also you have to avoid the map mod that says that minions cannot be stunned. Since we are going to use the stun towers, that mod is going to cause us a lot of problems. Okay, this is good enough for me. I have to roll some of the mods because there was either too much damage or there's also a mod that increases the mob speed, movement speed, and I don't kind of like that. Nah. And that mod just makes the map a bit more difficult, so I prefer to roll over to something more feasible. And then the last step is to anoint with Acacia. So we get here and we are using the triple crimson to improve our loot. And we add 3 of the same oils. And as you can see, we now have that 36 chests are lucky. So we are going to get better loot. If you want to know more about the strategy, I will pin now in the video a guide that explains the strategy, but it's basically the starting shield towers to permanently the mobs and then some dealing damage towers like the meteor towers and the lightning towers to finish these mobs. Then don't forget the caster mastery because this is pretty damn good. This causes that when you cast a spell you have 25% chance to open all of the nearby chests. So this for the final loot is a huge quality of life that was introduced. I think it was the last league, I think. And yeah. Okay, so for the map showcase, I'm going to show you a full map, a full body map. So we're going to see how this is done. So the first thing that you have to do is to activate the encounter and faster it up. And then you put the portal aside so you don't misclick into it. And yeah, you have to, at the start you have to wait. You can kill these mobs, there are too few of them, and you just have to wait for the mob spawns to appear. As you can see, we have a pretty good setup here already. So we're going to build the classical setup. We're going to have the fire. As you can see, there is no fire tower, so we are going to be pretty damn good here, building some just fire towers for the damage. If there are some spots here that contain some fire, you will have to spot them and build some lighting towers to help with the damage. So the first tower is our main damage. You can also get here and help towers with some damage, but in general with the utility tower, the stun tower and the chill towers, the mobs are going to be perma stun here, and the damage towers are going to do its job pretty damn well. You have to take care, for example, here mobs are already coming from all directions, so I'm going to do the same here. Some stun tower. You can build here this. You can also, after having the defensive towers, you can build the damage towers after that, because they are still going to shoot the mobs that are permastun here. We have a Blighted boss here. It's so important to start improving the, let's say, the defensive towers, because the mobs are going to be permastun like this, okay? So before building the damage towers, always try to first secure the spot with some defensive towers, and then you will have time to build the damage. It's important to keep the mobs in place, otherwise it will be a mess, okay? Okay, I realized I don't have sound. That's some here. And we have now a new direction that is from here. As you can see, I only have one map spawn, so I will wait and see how it develops. And now I'm going to build the damage tower. The mobs won't move from here. As you can see, even the unique mob, the boss, the Blight boss, is permastun, so this is pretty safe. As you can see, I didn't see this zone anymore since the start of the map, and I know that they will be permastun here no matter what. So this is pretty chill. This is one of the things I like the most from Blight. You're just wandering around, building some towers, listen to Keisha to shout, and then you cash out the loot and next map, and that's pretty good to change the as a fresh air, right? As you can see, mobs are going to start coming from this direction. You can build here the freeze, the stun, and the empower, so the mobs stay here. And I can add a lighting tower here, so you can see how it looks like, or how it would be if I had let's say a tower that spawns fire type mobs. I like both of them. Most of the time I do the arc towers because it's more consistent, it does damage around itself. Meanwhile the other, it's like a storm that is like a Herald of Thunder. It spawns thunders around the tower. I like this because it's more like an area, even though it deals a bit less of damage, but it's fine. Yeah, you could say that the map's already done. It's good now to clear the maps, because the encounter won't finish once the timer runs out. But when the mobs, every mob is dead, so it's a good idea to clear the map yourself in this point and not wait for the towers to finish, so you can queue to the next map. So another thing is that, as you can see, I have here, I should have mentioned this, I will mention this, I will add previously in the video. I have, where was it? Here, caster mastery for the chest to open when I cast a spell. We are going to see how good this is. This is pretty good, pretty damn good for quality of life for the Blighted maps, and you're going to see why. So let's finish these latest mobs. Okay, the encounter is finished. And as you can see, for example, here I have 4 clusters of chests, right? If I start spamming spells, that's going to be, let me show you first what I'm going to do. If I start spamming skills like this, I will hit at some point the 25% chance, and all the chests, look, all the chests are open. This is pretty amazing for this kind of grind, and I 100% recommend this mastery. So it lessens your clicks by a lot, and it does give you the Piñata loot experience. Okay. Sometimes it takes a bit, but it's fine. Let's see what we get here. Okay. The loot from the pump. Flasks. Okay, pulsant. You should filter all these oils in your maps, in your map items filter, because they aren't good. I don't like these two either. Okay, okay, pretty low. I'd say pretty low value map. Some are better than others, and yeah, that's it for this map. We got a lot of stuff anyways. Sometimes you're going to drop a divine, sometimes you're going to drop some currencies, and that's it. Sometimes you're going to drop some good uniques. These could be sold. You could sell for these for 3 chaos. Don't think it's worth, but yeah. And yeah, that's basically it for the map showcase. We are going to continue with the videos, seeing all the analysis of the all the loot from the 20 maps. And yeah. Okay, so about the results, I did 20 maps in total, and I put all of the loot in this tab. As you can see, I have all of these stuff that came out of those chests. And I want to start saying a disclaimer that I already removed the trash. With trash, I mean for example, the low tier oils. As you can see, these are all the only oils that we have in this tab, and they're all ones that you can sell. You don't have sepia, you don't have teal and that kind of stuff. I already upgraded them to a point that you can sell, and that is, for example, the crimsons you can even use in your own maps. We have 4 golden, 4 palisand, 5 silvers, some reflective oils that do sell, and the black oil. Then I did the same for the essences. These are mostly shriekings. That's the lowest tiers that they can sell in bulk in TFT. These are, yeah, those that I cannot transform, but as you can see, these are the screaming ones. These do not sell, so it's important to convert them to a higher tier version, because otherwise they will stay here forever. I did the same thing for the divination cards. As you can see, well, in Blights in general, you get a lot of stuff, a lot of the different divination cards from the chests, and I already took them out of this tab, and I only have here 5 of them that I do think that they will sell. The regrets, 7 league step is the 50 movement speed boots, tabula rasa for the tabula rasa, the overmaking, and these 4 or 5 chaos. These do sell. I do plan to sell them, and all of the others aren't in this tab, so they won't be bulge pricing. And also for the maps, I don't know why, but at the start I picked a lot of maps from white tiers, yellow tiers, and I did remove them all. I also did remove some of the random maps that you get from the Atlas, so I won't be doing 20 different trades for random maps for 3C. So I only have here the mausoleum ones that I have from the favorite slots, and I also have 1 glacier, and the special maps, that is the Conqueror one and one this this from the shaper that they do sell pretty well. Okay, so this is stuff that's pretty easy to sell and to transform into divines and chaos. You can either use the trade side or TFT, and yeah, just I want to mention that this is all value stuff. Even though there is a bunch of different stuff, they do sell in to other players. Okay, so in PoE Stack we priced the whole tab of this stuff that we saw, and we got a total of almost 2700 chaos. This is basically 2700 because I found that there is a Ravaged map here that is not being taken into account. I think that it's not priced, and yeah, so this is around 30 chaos, as you can see, 35 chaos. So adding that to here, you have like almost exactly 2700 chaos. And for the rest of the loot, as you can see, it's pretty much curated. We have currency, the divines, a lot of stack decks that do stack a lot. That's one divine and a half, and you could even sell in bulk for a little bit more. And some golden oils, some silver oils, some opal sands, a lot of chaos, a lot of the maps that we just mentioned, some of the ravaging maps, some other oils, more bubblegum currency, and so on, so on. These stuff that can be sold in TFT. The scarves, for example, you can sell them in bulk. Same for the fossils, same for the essences. The cards are just 5 cards. Same for the other currency, the maps, and yeah, this is pretty much it. And this is the final number. And this is the breakdown. As you can see, currency almost 6 divines from the 11.6. This number is rounded up, but it's actually 11.6 divines with the current divine price. And yeah, some of maps, scarabs, essences, fragments, fossils, and that's it. If you want to take a look, here's the full list. And we are going to now calculate the profit per hour. Okay, so in total we got a raw return of 11.7 divines, and I bought each map at 40C, at 14C, so that's 280 chaos for the 20 maps. Then accounting the price for the crimson oils, that's in total a little bit more of 100 chaos. So the initial investment was almost 1.7 divines. So the profits ended up being 10 divines, basically that. And in my case, the map time was around 8 minutes per map. And that's for my build, that's a little bit slow clearing the mobs because of how Vortex works. But you could definitely down that to 7 minutes per map. I remember in Sanctum League that have an 8k Ignite Elementalist that had a higher clear area, and I could ban the maps before because the latest mobs that wander around after the timer, it could clear those mobs faster. Just that, and you could definitely drop the 8 minutes per map to 7. So I'm still taking into account the 8 minutes. So in 20 maps and for 8 minutes each, that was around 2.6 hours total of active gameplay. And yeah, the final profit per hour, then considering these numbers, it's 3 divines 0.7, and yeah, that's doing the maps in 4 minutes. And I also calculated 4.2 divines if you do these maps in 7 minutes. So for the final conclusion for this video is that you get 3.74 to 4.2 divines per hour while doing blights in the current expansion. And yeah, that's basically it for today. And I hope you like the video, the gameplay, and the information. And if you want to see more PoE content, be sure to subscribe. And see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.